So yes, good evening again, everyone. My name is Oyindamola, and I'm here to actually take you on the basics of building a solid brand by the way of structure, right? So you know that it's very easy for all of us to get carried away. Structure is that thing that a lot of business owners have practically heard about. And right now, for a lot of people, it feels like a buzzword, right? Vision 2020 of those days. Everybody's talking about structure, structure, structure. And it seems a lot of times that people don't even know what structure is. And so it gets a lot of business owners confused, right? So basically, at the end of this training, or by the time you get to the end of these slides, right, you will, as a participant of this event today, understand, first of all, what systems are. There's nothing big or understand that nobody can understand about systems. So you will know what systems are. You will know why you actually need them as a business owner, and you will also know how to create your systems, right? Then you would discover if you really need to hire staff, right, and how to start building your team if you do. Then you will know when and know how to expand your business offerings. And you would also get basics, because I'm not a finance expert, but I'm going to tell you the little I know about what you need to do to manage the finances of your business properly, right? So what is business structure? That word you hear and it's like, oh, these people have come again, right? Basically, in one single paragraph, business structure is the organization of the different areas of a business in a way that it will continue to run efficiently and smoothly without the physical presence or sometimes the hands-on involvement of the business owner or any other key person, meaning that you move the business from a person-centered business to a system-centered one. Now, I understand that most of us that are here today are we run our businesses alone, right? So you are the solo owner of your business, you do everything alone. And so you don't really see how, but I will explain how exactly your business can still function without that your hands-on involvement. Every day you're on Instagram, every day you are doing this, every day you are doing that, right? So there's the way that you'll be able to make the business run, and so you can do other things while the business continues to grow. Yeah. So I'm just going to run through this. I decided to put this slide because if you don't know what the building blocks of structure is, we might get further into the discussion and you realize that, okay, why is she talking about mission, vision, and all of these things? So just look at this slide. I'm going to jump, right? Look at it in like 15 seconds and then I'm jumping. But basically, all the things that I hear are the things that you need that will make your structure actually solid, right? The way they say protein is the building block of the body or whatever that is. So this is what makes your structure able to actually stand, full stop. There's also teams here. You if I was presenting like a larger group of business owners that I'm sure have teams, would also talk about their teams, which would also be a major part. So if you have a business and you have like employees, there would also be teams and company culture as part of this, but we'll talk about that later. So yes, what are systems? Basically, your systems are documented procedures, policies, and then software, tools, whatever it is really that you use to manage an aspect of your business to achieve an objective. You see, we've already spoken about some of the things we said. Objective is now showing up, right? So basically, to take it away from being that thing that is all whoozy systems, hey, basically a system is how I do my stuff, right? How I do it here. It doesn't matter if everybody does their marketing this way. I, in this business, do my marketing this way. That's really what it is. So let's say that for your own marketing, you use email, Instagram, whatever it is, you put it together, and then you run it for a particular number of months, and then you get this kind of what you are measuring and all of that. You use this kind of tools, you use this particular software, you know, it is how you do it, and that makes it your system. Systems integrate all the elements required. What a system has really come to do is to make your body or your business an efficient machine so it continues to roll. Is the way that you have a car, right? Your car is a machine, and there are many different parts of it, sorry, that you need to, that needs to work together for that car to move. So your systems are those things that work together here and there and there. You don't particularly every day see those systems on the outside, but they are there teaching you and helping you to do the things you need to do, right? And of course, let's use a common example. So you talk about the respiratory system, your throat, your mouth, your nose. All of those are individual, entities on their own, but they come together, right, to form that respiratory system. So that's what a system is. Different things coming together to do it in your own way. So yeah. So let me use this example that I put here, a customer management system. So for example, you have an SOP for onboarding new customers, an SOP for handling customer complaints, an SOP for generating feedback from your clients, then your return policy, because it deals with customers, your refund policy, and then if you have maybe any software you use, track your customer relationship management, all of those will come together, right, to be your system for customer management. Now, everybody can have these elements in their whatever, but somebody's return policy is that when you buy, you can't return. Another person's policy is that when you buy, you can return in 3 days. Another person's policy is that you can return in 2 weeks. And then somebody uses this platform as their own CRM software, you use another one. The way that you put that system together will be different, even though you have the same elements, right? For example, I use this as an example. So if you go into a Chicken Republic, probably you enter there and you want to buy something that is not in that till that you see outside, they definitely will say nice, nice. Nice, nice is nothing, right? What does it mean? Nothing. It doesn't even make sense. But they say it. They say it because that is Chicken Republic's system of interacting with one another in the business. You are on some Zoom calls, and when somebody finishes speaking, they say over. What the first day I experienced, I was like, what's that? And then I realized that all of them in that company have actually chosen to say over, or have been told to say over when you are done speaking, so that the next person can take up, so that the meeting is not rowdy. That is their system for having meetings. So basically, that's what it is. As a system, then the elements would have to work together in harmony so that they are systems. So an SOP is an SOP. It's not a system. I don't have time to talk about that today, but an SOP is not a system, right? An SOP is basically just that, an SOP. A policy is a policy. All of those things are individual stuff, right? So what are the benefits? What do you benefit from having a system? First of all, you have clarity and you have consistency. And you see, when you have clarity that I know that this is how I'm supposed to do this thing, even if I'm not feeling well, I do it the same way. Even if I'm not available and I have to tell my sister to help me, she's going to do it the same way. So you know that your client is going to be satisfied, or you are going to get the same result from this thing in the way that you've been getting it. So that consistency helps you. then you are able to scale it. There's also the possibility of scaling when you have that, you have a system in place. What scaling means basically is that you can get the same results doing less work and spending less money. So you hear about scale and you think, oh, it's something. So there is business growth, and then there's the ability for a business to scale, right? So when a business is scaling, it probably can do the same thing with 6 staff that a business that is just growing will do with 10 staff. So, for example, you now want to open another, what do you call that thing now? Another branch of your business, or you want to, attend to more clients. And so you need to bring people, into the business and all of that. How do you do it? Right? So that is what scalability, which is backed up by systems, gives to you. Right? So when you are scaling, you know that in Lagos, Ibadan, and Abuja, my business is going to speak the same words, my business is going to do the same thing, my business is going to ask the same questions, my business is going to give the same answers when particular things are asked. If you go to a bank, they've debited you wrongly, they know, the customer service people know, and they're sorry, right? But when you enter the bank, they will tell you the same thing. And they will tell you that, oh, sorry, it would be sorted in 2 working days. If it's not sorted, please call this number, please send an email, and all of that. That's what they tell you. So that means a bank is scaling. And then you have streamlined efforts. You are not here and there, you are not scattered. As in, you try it today, it works. Tomorrow, you're trying, you're not really sure. Is it going to work? Is it not going to work? Right? That's not going to happen when you have systems in place. And then you can continually improve. Say, for example, take the customer management, whatever I spoke about, and you see that your customers are complaining, and you are now looking at what is making them complain. Then you see that your return policy is too hard, and sometimes based on the kind of service you render or the kind of products you sell, there might be returns. So you are able to improve that return policy without holding every other thing down. And then systems allow you to focus. You can do the same thing and continue to do it. And then systems as well bring control. I'm sorry that I'm rushing. I really want to get to a good part of the slides before 40 minutes is up. So control. Control is that thing that sets a structured business apart from one that is not structured. Because the funny thing about control is that in a structured business, you release it as an individual, and then the business has it. So I was speaking about the last benefit I put here. There are many, many, many more other benefits of having systems, right? But I'll just put the last one as control. And the reason why I did that is because control is something that a lot of business owners are worried about losing, right? And like I said, when you have put systems in place for your business, you are not in control, but your business is in control. And that, saves everybody the stress of having to worry about what's happening or what's not happening, right? So basically, controls are checkpoints that you put in place that prevent inappropriate decisions from being taken, even when you as a business owner are not there personally, right? I mean, there are different kinds of control. You can say, for example, for those who have teams, one person signs the checks, then another person takes it to the bank, or one person counts the money, another person deposits it in the bank. So I've spoken about control, and like I said, there are many other benefits. You can look them up and just check and see the kind of benefits you would even get when you actually put your own systems together. So I put here a 5-step process, right? Where if you check online, you will see different people, you know, having their own different opinions or their own different ways, right, of actually creating systems. But I put together this 5-step system to actually explain, at a glance how systems can be done. So my 5-step system basically is define your systems, document your systems, communicate your systems, implement your systems, and then improve them. Improve them will bring you back to definition again, because that means there's something else you then need to define and all of that. So basically, to be able to actually have systems that work for your business, you will need, your mission. Define the overall purpose of your business, which is the mission of that business. Then you define what you desire the business to be in the future. That's your vision. Then you now define what you want to achieve with your business, in a specified space of time. Those will be your goals, and then how you intend to achieve your desired goals. So yes, I want to increase my sales would be a goal. Say I want to increase my sales by 20% by the end of 2023. That would be a goal. But how do I want to increase my sales would then be what the strategic objective. So one person's two people can have that same goal, right? And then one person's strategic objective is to use influencer marketing, and another person's strategic objective is to use, stockists who would actually take on their products and keep it until they're able to sell. So whatever it is, whatever works for you, depending on where your business is, that's how you do that. Then you go on to documentation. So when you know these goals, you know all of these things, of course you document them. Then you document the steps involved in performing any task in your business. Now, there are tasks that you have in your business that you don't really need them to have the same result. So you might, be fine with to not document those. But if you have any task that you want to have the same result, if that is, for example, I always want this, people that come on my course to get a kind of feeling, you then document your steps in creating your course. Or I want to people that hire me for graphic design to feel a certain type of way, to get good results all the time. Then you document your steps to actually creating those designs, right? Then you now have any behavioral expectations that you have of others that will help you not have to answer the same questions or correct the same errors repeatedly. Those will be your policies. For example, you are working for someone and the person keeps sending you messages, when am I getting this, when am I getting this? Ideally, you should have started the deal, I don't know how to put it, with a service delivery policy or a service delivery agreement that states everything you are expected. You are going to talk once a week. This thing is going to be ready 6 weeks after we start, whatever that is, if you are a service-based business, because I believe that most people here are service-based businesses, right? So you will get your graphics in 3 days, you will get your graphics in 2 days, in 3 working days. I would send if two samples, and then or three choices, and then you choose one, so that you don't keep designing the same graphic. uh, you don't keep working on the same design for someone, and you have done 8 designs and the person is not satisfied, and you are wasting time because you have other things to do. But you see, these things, as small as they sound or as funny as they sound, they actually do happen. Somebody has you have made this dress for the person has gained weight, the person has brought it back, losing it today, losing it tomorrow, losing it day after tomorrow. Okay, I'm slimmer now, please take it back to the size that it was. A lot of stuff, and they are wasting your time, right? So the ideal thing to do is that you have a policy that guides your interactions with these people ahead. Then communicate. There's no point documenting anything if you're not going to communicate to the people that need to know, right? So when you want to take on a business, then you communicate your policies. When you want to take on a business, then you communicate your what's that thing called now? You communicate your SOPs if you're taking on staff, or if you want to even outsource something, I need somebody else to do it, right? So communicate the expected results from those systems, communicate what you think they need to do, what they have to do, and all of that. Then implement. So when you communicate, either you or somebody else has to implement the systems that you have created. And then, of course, because nothing is perfect and will continue to be perfect, you need to then continue to improve. It's if you decide, if you don't decide how frequently you will improve your systems, you probably will not improve them. If you don't say that I would, sit and look at these systems in 6 months or twice a year, you won't do it. So it's best that you determine the frequency that you would use to actually improve your system. So let me see if this thing works for 6 months, and then I'll change it. And then, of course, ensure that all previously noted improvements are implemented. I have to rush now. So yeah. Okay. So here basically is saying your business most likely already has a system for doing things, right? The problem in many businesses is that that system is not defined. And where it is defined, it is not documented. If it's not documented, it cannot be implemented effectively. Because what it means is that if you ask me, I will tell you A. If you ask another person, they will tell you something else. So our first assignment today is this. When you leave here today, I don't know your businesses, but I would like to see that you have created a system. What? A system to deliver products, order fulfillment system, people management system if you have staff, create one system, cash flow management system or financial management system. Create those systems, right? So that you can work in a shorter time and you can do more things, right? In the long run. Yeah. So next slide, please. Yeah. So we are here, right? I hope that everybody's getting some, some form of value from this. I know that I'm rushing, but take it like that. You would learn one or two things by the time we are done. So I put this here because I'm not particularly sure if many of us have teams or not, but I'm assuming that we don't. So, and of course, for good reason, right? Many service business owners actually start out solo. I have a laptop. Somebody has told me how to design stuff on Canva. So I go ahead and I start a business. I am now Oyindamola Business and Co, whatever that is, right? So I'm doing graphics. I'm doing it. I'm getting good vibes. People like my work. I'm getting good vibes. And then suddenly I'm busy. And the next thing I start thinking is, okay, I need to employ you. I need to get somebody to work with me because I can't do this thing on my own anymore. Right? And so we're doing that. But the thing is this, that time when you need to employ others, or that time when you are considering employing other people, is a very, very vital part of your business. It's a huge milestone because, first of all, it signifies, at least to people on the outside, that your business is doing well, right? And it is also a very tricky time because it can scatter everything that you have built from the beginning. So one of the first things you need to know is, do you even have to employ or not? Right? So how will you know if you are actually ready to employ? And how do you know if maybe you just need some help, maybe outsource something to someone, or let somebody take charge of this thing that you're doing? Right? So I put here, if you are struggling to keep up with the demands of your growing business so much that you don't want to continue to turn clients away, maybe you should consider employing, right? If what you thought was a temporary busy time, say maybe you got a project, you thought you were going to work on it for 6 months, but you realize that I've been working on it for 1 year and it's still coming, maybe it's time to employ a staff, right? You've stopped promoting your business because you're swamped with orders, you are swamped with requests for people to use your services, or you keep seeing good opportunities you can plug in here and there, but it requires skills and expertise that you don't have. It will be a great time, right, to consider starting a team. If you are losing business because you can't deliver on time, and you're not delivering on time, is not because you are lazy, it's not because you're wasting time, it's actually because you are doing so much, and you don't want to turn them away, like I said in the first point. Then you should consider employing someone. Or, and again, so before you employ, you should know that the financial situation of your business is strong and stable. Reason why you need to first of all even know how to work out the finances of your business, right? So your finances are strong and stable enough to pay an employee, right? I would say for at least 6 months, because that 6 months will be time of learning and all of that, and so things might slow down a bit. Now, if your workload is just massive at the moment but it will soon end, I don't think you should employ someone. Outsource if you can. Use a contractor or a freelancer, but don't take on a full-time staff. It's too much work. If your workload is sporadic, and for example, you know that in January, February, I'm so busy, and then March, April, it's not that serious, if that's how your work is, I don't think you should employ yet. You might want to use a contractor, get somebody for 2 months, let them do the work, and then, they'll go off on their way, so that you are not indebted to continue to pay them when they are now not working. If you are overwhelmed and desperate to get help, don't start a team. I beg you. You will be frustrated the more, you will be more overwhelmed. The business can actually grind to a halt. If you are so overwhelmed and it is desperation that the next person that can read their name out of their CV is the person you're just going to employ, don't employ yet. This one is a given, but I really hope that we know that you don't need to employ because somebody who is your competitor has 5 staff. That's really not your business, right? Just let it go. I'm not even going to talk about that too much. Then, if the revenue of your business is hardly enough for you to get by, please don't employ. Money in your account does not particularly mean revenue in your business. So please don't employ if you are not sure of the finances of your business. Now, to be able to now create an efficient team, say, okay, you have looked at it and you realize that, see, I have to employ. This work is killing me. Or this thing can be bigger than this. This vision I have, let's go get it, and all of that. You need to look at these two key parameters ahead before you start the hiring process. Number one, look at your business as a whole, the entire business, right? And see what are the positions that this business needs to reach the vision that I have for it. For example, say you are a graphics designer today, but your vision is to be a digital marketing agency that is this in all of Africa. What are the roles you need in that business to be that in Africa? Write them down. The role that you currently take in that business as well right now, include it. So I understand that for a lot of solo businesses, right, You take on a lot of roles, but you don't define what your role is. And then you hear that you are CEO. I'm sorry. Let's leave that story for another day. But really, truly, you are not a CEO, and it's fine. I mean, you don't have to be a CEO to be doing great work, right? But write it down. If you are currently now a digital marketer, but this business is going to grow to such a place that it's going to have a COO, then write it all down. It is work, but it is worth it, because the money you use to buy your phone or your laptop as a work tool, you can use it to do baby girl. So if you're not ready to work, just go buy your phone and be doing something else. But if you want to work, if you say you are building a business, then let's do it right. That's the point, right? So if before today you didn't have vision for your business, it's okay. But today you will go back and you go and define your vision, right? Then, number two, be clear on the kind of culture that you want your business to have before you employ. I say culture because if you have ever, there's this very popular saying in corporate world that structure, culture, we eat strategy for breakfast. So you have defined that beautiful strategy, but your workplace is toxic. Your strategy will be eaten up, thrown out. It will not work. So you need to ensure that the culture you want to build is clear. Whatever culture that is your business, but you need to be clear on it. Then, if you want to have an efficient team, you will need to hire for attitude and train for skill, especially as a solo business owner that is transitioning to an employer of labor. You need your first set of employees to do different things for you. Yes, this is their JD, but they might have to do this and that. You can't hire somebody who will be sulking because they have the skill. So you need to look out for that. I'm not saying your employees do not need to be skilled. I am saying that attitude is what will make them open to learning and willing to embrace flexibility when situations change. And of course, ensure that these people love your brand, they love your vision, and they fit into that culture you have defined up there, and they are aware of what the business needs to do. Yeah, so next slide. These other tips as well might help you ensure that you have the time and patience to recruit. Like I said, if you're overwhelmed and desperate, don't recruit yet. You are not ready, or take some time off before you do, or have the time and have the patience, and then be clear on what the person will be doing in the new role. So for example, you feel so, I'm overwhelmed, this person has to come, da, 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 da. And for 2 months they are filled, and then after 2 months there's no work again. So you need to be clear that there's work for them to do. Then test someone in the role. You don't have to go, right into it, employ a full-time staff, give them HMO, give them this, give them that. You can test someone, right? Manage your business finances very well. Test someone in the role, maybe in a contractor role for 3 months, and see, and then, see how they do and see whether you actually need to employ for this role now. Then fill the support roles first. It's important that don't employ somebody that has the same technical abilities as yourself. Fill the support roles first and hire for your weaknesses first. Even as a graphics designer, for example, or say you are a digital creator, there's yes, you like to dance and you like to do video, but there are parts of that thing you don't like. Maybe you don't like to edit videos, or you don't like anything with posting on Instagram, whatever it is, right? There's no good or bad in these things, but hire for your weaknesses first. If you hire for your strength, your business will eventually suffer, right? So ensure that you hire for those things you don't like to do, and then move on from there. Now, this one is long, and I don't know if I should jump in. So how much time do I have? It's very long. Expanding your offerings is very long. Even me, I know. So give
Okay,
me
so you
one
have
moment.
about 25 minutes more. So maybe you can just
I
like
would,
just touch on it and not go deep.
yeah. All right. Okay. No problem. All right. So expanding your offerings. So you see, I mean that's the goal, right? You've created one thing and you want to continue to expand, you want to continue to, grow your business, but you don't know when. When do I start to expand my offerings? I'll use myself as an example for this one. So I wrote a book and it came out in April of this year. And as I started, I'd done some marketing for it ahead. I got some pre-orders. It was fairly good, right? And I realized that the book, which is really for businesses just to be structured and all of that, the book is called Dear Business Owner, is a but it speaks very much to people who have already set up their companies, people who have people who have team members, and so it speaks about all of those things, the kind of policies you need to share with your team members, disciplinary. I know it's a good book. Me, I'm telling you, right? I'm blowing my horn, but yeah. But as I was marketing it, I realized something. More than 80% of the business owners in Nigeria right now don't have team members. You're surprised. I was surprised too. And I realized that that book will not work for them as much. I mean, it could work for them if they are planning for their future, don't get me wrong. But for where they are, to ease the stress of this business almost making them run mad, where they are right now, that book is not going to work. What did I do? I started to work on another book. Simple. It's not easy because I have a full-time job, in case you don't know. But I realized that I would, first of all, not be able to help a lot of people. And that's not what my mission or my vision for starting this brand is, right? So I want people to run businesses without losing their minds. And that 80% cannot be left out of that, right? So I had to start working on something else. That's how it is. So basically expanding your service, your offerings for a service-based business is an exciting opportunity, but it also has to be a strategic one. So you are not doing it because it looks good. You are not doing it because your competitors are doing the same. You are doing it because you are clear on your vision, your mission, your goals, the core values that you have for yourselves, and of course, your strategic objectives very early in your business, right? So you know that, okay, this has to be done now. Simple. You know when you get to that point, right? But like I said, don't get to that point because it looks good that, oh, I have 37 ebooks. No, there's really no point if it's not making the impact you want your business to make, or because your competitors are doing the same. See, I've said it again. I said it one time in front that don't hire because somebody's hiring. Don't expand your offerings because somebody's expanding their offerings. It doesn't pay you. It's a waste of your time. Now, additional signs that might be helpful for you to know whether it's time to expand your offerings is that there appears to be a market for it. So this 80%, somebody asked me, this book, I saw this thing, I don't have a team. One person said, oh, come and train my community on business structure. As I was training them, she said, it's not for them right now, right? And then I created this material of this book, right? Not the entire material, but something. And I trained another group of people and I got glowing reviews. And I knew that if I don't release that book, I'm punishing myself and I'm punishing other business owners. And that's why I went ahead. So customers have been requesting for this new service. Okay, so me that I don't have a team, am I not going to structure? I've lost my voice. I'm crying every day in this business. My dispatch rider has done this. Oh, they've taken my order to this place, right? And then you have enough resources. So time, money, if you need people, you have enough people to drive the offering, because that's also important so that you don't wear yourself out and you are not able to actually grow. Then you see a connection between your current services and the new one. Then sometimes that thing will trust your gut. your gut feeling agrees with that expansion. So if that is it, go for it. If it doesn't work out the way you want it to work out, you will learn. You pick your whatever, and then you move on. So how do you expand your offerings? I have this 8 step approach. Eight. I don't know if I'm going to talk through all of it, but I'm just going to say that this can be taken as a system for service development, right? This is my system for developing a new service. Let's put it that way. So it's the best way because it saves you stress and it doesn't allow you to waste a lot of your money before you realize that it doesn't work. Let's assume, for example, there are people here who are service-based business. Products-based businesses. So they sell stuff, they sell clothes or shoes, and one or two people have asked you for shoes from Turkey, but your clients, you've not really seen them ask. Okay, and then you ask them, they say the minimum quantity is 100 pieces. 100 pieces, maybe 40 million. I don't know how much these things cost, but you can't put in 40 million because two people asked you for clothes. What's that? By the time the clothes will come and you sell those two, what happens to the rest? You won't do that. So you develop your concept, right? The first thing, can go to the next slide. So your concept development is actually looking through the process and saying, right, if you have employees, ask them, so do you think we should do this? Okay, what do you think that and if you take customer feedback as well, is very important. Data is life. We've heard it a lot, but it's just that again, we see data as one high falutin, something that is floating, and you have to sit down behind a difficult Excel or Power BI or one hard something to get it out. No, data is that thing that your colleague said, that thing that your employee said, that thing that your 6 of your customers have said this thing. It is data to you. How many customers you have? 14, and 6 have said this. You should note it because that's almost 50% of your customer base, right? So conduct that session. Ask your employees if you have. If you don't have, talk to your customers. Ask them if you have a nudging, to add something to your product line that is like nothing has opened up, but you think you should expand. Ask them. So are there gaps in your offerings they want you to plug? Are there things they want? All of those things. And then, like I said again, listen to your instinct. You've already developed a successful business. I believe that you should have had some kind of traction in business to even say you want to expand your offerings, right? So listen to yourself. Listen, are you sure? Does your heart really, 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 connect to this thing that you want to do? If it does, great, then go ahead. And pick the one. One of the things I would say is that in expanding your offerings, pick the one that has the greatest impact on your customers. Remember, you are in business not for yourself. You are in business for the value that you give to the people that you are serving, right? So ensure that you are able to give them some value. And so you need to ask them. Describe as much as possible who your customer is. That's going to be my last point on this concept development. As much as possible. I mean, you've heard it every time. It's just maybe because they say it is like strong word. When they say customer avatar, you are scared. Describe who your customer is. 23 years old. She loves flashy things. She has 8 piercings. Say it if that's your customer. Nobody's going to beat you. Okay. Then so now you thought of something, there's a concept in your mind, screen it against established criteria. Nobody has the same criteria, but my criteria will be for you to ensure that the idea you want to go with is aligned with your vision, your mission, your goals, and your core values as a business. You can't start importing condoms if you maybe attend a church where they don't do family planning, right? It's against your core values, so you won't do business that way. I believe. I'm not sure. But I'm just saying, because I have pharmacy people, like friends who don't sell some stuff for their personal reasons. And it's fine, it's their core values and it's the way they have chosen to do business. Then when it is in line, like, okay, my vision is to do this, my whatever is to do that, be sure that you also falls into, so you know, SWOT analysis, right? Your strength, your weakness, your opportunities, and your threats. Ensure that this thing you want to work on falls in your strength and your opportunities block of a SWOT analysis. If you've never done a SWOT analysis before, please go and do it. Like I said, I'm not doing a break, I'm not doing a basics or structure class. So I didn't talk about a lot of things. If you've never done a SWOT analysis, please do it. It's for your own good, right? Then create your development plan. There's really nothing to say. Just make sure that your plan covers your timeline for getting the product to market, covers your budget, and of course covers all the other resources that you will need. Then testing your concept. If you've ever created a digital product and you created it with, maybe you paid for a class or something, that point where they say ask your customers, okay, ask, is this something they will buy? Is this something that this, oh, I want to create an ebook or a course, which one do you like, why? That's you testing your concept, so that it's not like you are floating. You have thought of this course that will help people to do this, or this new, if I add this to my graphic design like this, my customers will be swooning. And then you put it out there that, what's happening, you people, all these things, and it's cricket. Crick, crick, crick. Nobody. No. So that's why you are testing your concept, right? I remember the first time I put out whatever about the new book that I was working on, and I was like, yeah, thank God, oh. And I'm you people didn't tell me you've been waiting, right? So basically, can you create the product, test it? Do you have the capabilities? And will people buy? Your concept testing basically should answer the question of how unique is your product. When you get the slides, please read it. How unique is your product? Is your target audience, remember that customer you described, are they interested in that product? And then, okay, they are interested, but will they buy? You know, it's different. All of us want the Apple Watch that they say can read mental health. I don't know how you would do it, but are we going to buy? That's the point, right? So Apple might have, tested it with some people and they've gotten their go ahead, right, to actually put that product into the market. But trust me, you have to ensure that there's actually an interest to purchase, not just an interest of, it's not bad, it looks good, right? You must ensure that there's that desire. People want to buy what you're producing. And so that is going to help you as a business owner to confirm your concept, right? Okay. Next slide. Then how much do they want to pay? They want to buy, Abby. How much? First of all, you can have a price in your mind. So people that are doing business, they're young, they're this, they're that. Maybe they'll pay this amount. Then tease them to get a price. I'm reading a book on strategy. Fantastic book. Right, let me just chip this in. And this is even a big company. And the book was talking about how they were going to, a company, Ole, was going to put out a product and they were trying the price. They realized at 12.99, they had customers for it. At $15.99, they didn't have customers for that product. At $18.99, they had customers again. See, that's solid business work. I'm not asking you to do all of that stress because that could take you months. But I'm saying test it. How much will people pay? You know that if you say now you want to give me one course, maybe that will help me do, and you price that 5,000, I'll not pay. I'll not pay because No, you are lying. You can never give me that result. I remember seeing Trisha Biz, one of her posts when she was promoting her monetize your line. She told somebody that if I tell you to come and pay 1,000 or 10,000 for this thing and you pay, are you not a thief? So test it. You know your market, you know their pricing and all of that. How much are they willing to pay? It will help you to know whether this thing is profitable or not. If somebody wants to pay 3K for something that is going to take you like 6 months to create, you're going to spend hundreds of thousands of naira on marketing. How many are you going to sell before you make your money? I know that a lot of business owners see one of the things I talk about a lot is time and the value and the time monetary value of time. One of the things you also need to learn is how much your time is worth. If you're going to create a product for 6 months, if you're going to shut yourself out from hanging out with your friends, hanging out with your family, doing other things that you would love to do just to focus and create a product, that product should be able to give you profit that makes you happy. So when you are creating products that you've put in all the work, don't be, sorry. Anyway, that's something else. But know how much they're willing to pay. Know if he actually pays you to do this product, or maybe you could look for someone that is already offering the product and then connect your clients that want it to the person and then have like an arrangement for maybe affiliate or something. If the money is too small, then there's a point that was jumped there, but please read it up. Then service design. What will your competition be? Don't go into business or into a new terrain, so to speak, without knowing who the competitors are. They might be bigger than you, smaller than you, but it doesn't matter. Look out for them and be sure that you're on top of that. Then service design. So your concept testing has now revealed that this is a winner. Go for it. You need to now sit down with your development process and ensure that, for example, if it's a new design, a new product or service that would need you to pay subscription for something, hundreds of dollars and all of that, ensure that the resources are available and it will not eat into something else. If you need a certain type of gear to be able to shoot the video, to do that offering, ensure that you have that tool. Ensure that all your subscriptions that you need to pay for are paid for. Ensure that the supplies that you need, whether that would be in form of the screen of your camera or whatever it is, take write it down what you need and ensure that everything is available. Then next slide. I want to rush. Then of course, marketing. Basically, you will have heard it everywhere that marketing is pricing, promotion. It's three P's. I can't remember the last P, but I've put here service delivery. So how you will price your product, how you will promote your product, and how you will deliver the service. Ensure that these three things are clear when you are starting out, so that you don't get to a point where you have promised too much and you are going to be disappointing the people you promised, right? Yeah. So let's go to the next. Please read it up. It's very explanatory. And then, of course, scale up when you have designed it, when your marketing, whatever is in place, scale it up and, make sure it goes smoothly. I would also say here that, like I said, ensure that you have received requests to offer the service before investing too much in it. If you are going to pay thousands of dollars, for example, for a particular kind of for a particular type of, say, um, software that you need, you can't not have received any penny and go into production. You are not sure of how that thing will work, right? Then establish your service delivery process based on actual orders and not forecast. Yes, forecast, oh, this product is going to sell 2,000 whatever in this number of months and all of that. But for example, say they're going to be offering a course and you want to pay for a Zoom platform, for example, you can't pay for Zoom for 1,000 people. have less than 100 people, right? When the time comes for higher stuff, you upgrade. That's fine. But do it in the spot that it is right now. Then, of course, you've captured your market, you are working. Talk to your customers so that you can see how to improve that particular product. There's a reason why there's iPhone 13 from the first iPhone that they had. There's 14 now, right? So talk to people, get their opinion, measure success. So when you are starting out, right, have the things you want to measure this product by. A lot of people, especially service businesses, only measure their product by how much they have made. Don't give a better peace of mind for people. Take all of those metrics. Truth is, the intangibles, right, are very impactful. From my family, that's impact. That's, they've paid you, yes, but that's also impact that you can track and use for whatever it is you want to use it for later in the future, right? So next slide please. So this is my last box of whatever, then I'll take questions if there are any. So you are a solo business owner, you are collecting money, you are enjoying your life. You are one of those people who say those things. You are a millionaire today, tomorrow you don't have any money. Please, if you are one of those people that say that, please don't say it again. I don't like. It's not good. It doesn't make you look like a correct business owner, because as a business owner, you are not your business. So say there's 10K in your account and there's 10 million in your business account, except you want to take a loan, mm, from the business, you are not a millionaire. Your business, you can be worth millions, but you currently don't have millions. Let's just put that out. So financial management, see, all of these things we have talked about, is money. Do you hear how many times I spoke about money there? Please, you can't be doing business and not be able to track your money, no matter how little, right? It is one of the most important skills you should possess as a business owner, no matter the size of your business. See, the fact that you are even solo, right, means you should track it more, because you don't have any other person tracking it for you. So there's nobody telling you that, we're in trouble with this, there's no money in the account. Oh, nobody is telling you that. So you need to be on top of that, right? Money is vital, right, to the survival of your business. And for this reason, you need to understand how money enters your business and how money leaves, right? So it is important that you put a financial management system in place to help you know if your business is profitable, and also guide you in making decisions for the present and the future. Say you want to buy laptop, but you don't even know which one is your money, which one is your business money. How will you make that decision, right? You want to buy a new phone for your content creation, but you're not even sure, all the money has mixed together. You have used business money to buy pepper, you have used to buy shawarma, you're not sure, you're just there. Please, after today, we're not doing that again, please. Thank you. So managing your finances is also no small feat, right? And I understand. It takes time, it takes dedication and effort. And it can feel overwhelming to a lot of business owners, especially because you are doing so many other things. But because it is essential for the success of your business, right? You have to find a way to make it work, right? Okay, so what I've put together here, right, in this last section of this class is, first of all, I have put together metrics you should be tracking as a business owner, and some tips to help you with your business finances as much as possible. Like I said, I'm not a finance expert, so there are a lot of things I might not be able to answer regarding finances. But as a business owner, you need to be familiar with, with what is cash. Cash is money that you have. If you bought laptop, that money is no longer cash. It's now something else. Cash is money that is in your hand right now, and it is money that you can have access to in case you need to do some things. You've heard before that cash is king. There's a reason why they say that. Your money that is in the hand of another person is not cash. You don't have it. I'm sorry to burst your bubble. Yes, you're calculating it as sales. If you do sales on credit, or you do all this pay on after some number of days, know that that money is not money. Until it is in your hand, it's not money, right? You can count it as whatever, but depending on the kind of financial system you use, but until it's in your hands, pretty much it's not money. Then cash flow. There's also cash flow on that page. So cash flow is how money goes out and comes in. If more money goes out than comes in, your cash flow will be negative. If more money comes in than goes out, your cash flow will be positive. Simple. Then your gross revenue is the total money that your business has earned. That's your gross revenue. Your expenses are the things that you pay for to make your business continue to run. If you pay for hosting your website, if you pay for Canva subscriptions, if you pay for MailChimp, all of those things will be business expenses, right? Then profits. A lot of people think that revenue is profit. Revenue is not profit, though. I can't remove my earphones. I'll have put my hand in my ear. Revenue is not profit. Okay? You must remove your expenses from your gross revenue to know what your profit is. Right? Oops. NEPA has done it, but I'll continue talking. So you must remove your expenses from your revenue for you to know what your profit is, right? So some businesses have huge revenue, but unfortunately their profit is, sorry. So I was saying some businesses have a huge revenue, so they make millions per month, millions per year, and all of those things, but there's no profits, because by the time they remove salaries, they remove shipping fee, they remove this, they remove that, the money is gone. Or they remove all the losses they have had to pay somebody needs delivery, all this rubbish they have had to toast somebody, they have done. Some people will do sales. They're doing sales. Sorry. Okay, so I have to rush this now. So please, your revenue is not profit. Please remove your expenses when you are running sales. Be sure that it's profitable and all of that before you do it. And then please read the rest up. Then I'm going to say tips to manage your business finances better. Number one, separate your personal funds from business funds. Please, I can't say more than that. Then pay yourself a salary, even if it's 5K. What your business can afford for now, pay yourself. Don't spend more than the business can afford to pay you. Determine how much you want to earn. Maybe that will help you to forecast your goals. I mean, to create your goals and know how to, do whatever it is you want to do. If you don't want to get a job while doing the business, all of those things, but pay yourself a salary. Then what else? Let's go to the next slide so I can I'm almost done now. Then plan for major expenses. If you want to maybe buy a laptop in the next 6 months, plan for it. If you want to take a course that's going to take a lot of money and it's going to be, in the line of the business, please plan for it ahead. And then if you want to start maybe a new product line and all of that, that will require capital investment, plan them into your finances. Do regular reconciliations. I've sold, I'm just selling. I'm not even sure. I've used 2,000 to do transport today. I've used 7,000 tomorrow. I'm not really sure how much I'm spending and how much is coming in. Book a time with yourself. I will say weekly or at the worst monthly, but book a time with yourself if you use any calendar, whatever app, to actually do your reconciliations. Keep an eye on your invoices if you do post payment, right? If you allow people to pay later when you offer them services, please keep an eye on your invoices. Ensure that people pay when they're supposed to pay. If not, this will hurt your cash flow and your business will be in trouble. Record your transactions correctly. And if it feels overwhelming, please outsource. It's nothing bad at all. If it feels overwhelming, please outsource. your finances to an expert. I'm sure all of these tips will help you. I wish you all the best for your business. Um, all the best, all the best. So yes,
Thank
I'm
you
done.
very much. Oh my God, that was a long one, but thank you very much, ma'am. Even me, I learned a lot. I've written a lot of things here in my book. Thank you so much. So, anybody has a question, we'll just take one question, and that will be it. Anybody has a question? Have you guys been learning? Have you guys been learning? Drop in the chat. Drop in the chat. Drop in the chat. I've been seeing all the comments and the emojis and everything in the chat since. Please drop in the chat if you've been learning. Drop in the chat. What did you learn? Do you have a question for our guest? Do you have a question? Do you have a question for our guest? Do you have a question? Our panelists are here. Do you have a question, guys? Ichoko, this is a lot. Any questions? Okay. I don't there are no questions.
Okay, great. If there are
Amazing.
no questions,
Thank you so much, Ma.
thank
I
you,
really
guys.
appreciate you.
Thank you. It
Thank you
was.
so
I
much.
know it's a
Thank you so
lot.
much.
Please take the whatever again, the slides, and read them up. I know it was a lot. I know it was a
Yes.
lot. I just wanted to make sure that I covered as much as possible. So yes, that's it.
Thank you so much, Ma. Wow, this one, Narema with this. Oh my God. Omo. I don't know if you don't mind. Can I share the slide in the Telegram so that they can go through it?
Yes, please. You can.
Okay,
You
okay,
can.
okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, everybody. I'm sharing their feedback on the screen. Everybody is so happy and grateful to you today. Thank you so much for this amazing session. God bless you, Ma. Thank you, thank you, and everybody. As you are here, and you like to understand better how to structure your business, right? The business structure girl has a product for you that she called Dear Business Owner. She has the ebook version and the hardcover version. All right, so if you want the hardcover, I'm going to drop the link in the chat right now so that you can go and get it. So the link is in the chat for you to go get the hardcover of the Dear Business Owner. That book is really good. Whatever thing you've learned here today is just a tips on the iceberg, right? It's just a tips on the iceberg. And if you feel like, okay, I don't want the hardcover, I can deal with the digital copy. I just want something that will show me this online without me having to, pay for delivery or anything. There's also the digital copy. All right. So you can also get the digital copy on seller.co/, Dear Business Owner book. This link would also be dropped in the Telegram channel so that you can go and buy the book. All right. And two people are also
Okay.
going to win access to this book, free access in the raffle draw today. So stay to the end and make sure you play the raffle draw. Two people are going to get access to the ebook. But yes, go
Okay,
and get.
Eloha, before I go, sorry, before I
Okay.
go, I was just going to say that if anybody is a solo business owner, okay, I see somebody actually has a question here, but I wanted to say that if you're a solo business owner and you think you might be solo for a while, say in the next 2 years, you don't think you're going to employ someone, I would actually recommend that you get the other book, which the pre-order will be opening tomorrow. I will send to Eloho and we'll put it on she'll put it on whatever channel that she can communicate with you. The pre-order for that book and the workbook is opening tomorrow, just like tomorrow, right? So for if you are that is if you are a solo business owner, not team member, nothing, so that at least you can know how to structure your business for ease and all of that. I'm seeing a question. I want to start a social media
Yes,
agency
just
at the
2 minutes.
moment,
Please answer this in 2 minutes. Thank you, ma'am.
and I don't have all the skills. Should I employ now before I start, or start what I can do before employ? It will be a lot of things to ask. Tumishe, do you already have a business that will pay those that you employ? If you don't have all the skills, can you start with the skills you have and then expand
Exactly.
from
Start
there?
with the skills you have.
Start
Yes.
with the social media skills you already have. Start with those and then grow from there, because you don't want to employ someone and they are calling you out on Instagram that you didn't pay them salary. So they won't
Exactly. So
understand that.
the agency can be your long-term goal.
Yeah, yeah.
Start with the skill you have. Do the agency later when you have the capacity to pay
To
people,
pay
because you don't want
people
to employ
and
people and then you pay them month one, month two, you cannot pay them, you know. Start with the skills you have. When I first started, I started with Facebook ad skills, only Facebook ad. Over time, as I begin to develop more skills, I add more things to it. There is no shame or no any
yeah,
bad thing in starting with what you know for now. So if it's only content you can do now, position as a content marketer, as a content creator. Over time, when you can now do email marketing, you add it to it like that, until you grow, and then you also have the capacity to pay people and you start your agency. Thank you very much. So thank you so much, Ma, for this opportunity. Really appreciate you. Thank you so much. God
thank
bless you,
you.
Ma. Yes, Ma. Thank you.
Amen. All right, guys, all the
All right,
best.
Ma.
Thank you.
Yeah, bye.